watch and see how they're doing here. Doesn't look like any robbing, that's good. What we're going to do here is we're going to move these bees that overwintered in this NUC into a full hive and give them some room because it is spring. So I'm going to give them a little smoke. I got the side feeder entrance open here. And give them a minute to adjust. We picked this location because this is next to this tree which offers shade in the hot afternoons during the summer. But we moved the NUC up front and we put the hive in the back here, which is exactly the place where the NUC was, so that when they come back, they won't have to reorient to a hive and we won't lose any bees. I'm taking out this stuff because I didn't want any robbing going on while I was doing this. And so now our process is to, since we waited for the smoke and we've moved them, is to take off the covers and just do a transfer. And I think, since this is also part of spring management, I'm taking this out. That's a divider board. We are going to put them right around in here, right? So we're going to take that pretty much and move it this direction, and then spread out these with the brood nest with an extra bar in each between the broods, so that they have room to start building comb and laying. Hive. You might notice this big piece of, I think it's cottonwood back here. Sage and several people helped, and we pulled this out of a home in Albuquerque, and inside there are carpenter bees. Rescued them before the home was sold and they tore down the whole stump. Anyway, at some point during the summer they'll start coming out, and we'll have carpenter bees around here as well. So I'm going to start from the back of the hive and open her up, see how we're doing. Oh, we have a broken comb here, totally broken off, unfortunately. But as you can see, we have bees working very hard here. So I'm going to take this and we're going to move this in here. We're just going to start moving them. Careful not to crush any bees because they can give off a pheromone that says they are being attacked and somebody died. This is a nice comb. Got lots of resource on it. Put this one right up next to it. I should have my poker nearby, just in case. Now for this broken piece of comb, I'm not sure what we can do. Let's take a look at it real quick. I think we're going to have to sacrifice that one because there's no rescuing that. Another set of comb that's doing well. They're starting to put away honey in here. I don't know if you can see the glimmering, but there's glimmering in there. They're starting to put in their nectar. Move slowly if you can. Keep the bees calm. We have brood in here, plus our next bar looks like brood as well. This hive's doing well. We started this hive in September. And we're worried they were going to make it through the winter. We put the insulation around her. This has one drone cell on this side, and then we have some open larvae. I don't know if you can see that on this side. There's some open larvae there. Can you look in the sun there and see it? And all I'm doing now is I'm adding bars, either as resources or places where they can put in their honey storage, make new comb for their brood. I'm sorry. So we're opening up the brood nest. Here's more brood. There you can see there's an open larva on there towards the bottom. Bees are very busy. They're fairly calm bees, partly because it's a cool morning, but also because we're moving slowly. Try not to crush this little girl. Come on, go in or out, one of the two. There you go. More brood. I'm going to leave these guys closer together since this is close to the entrance. That'll help keep the brood warm at night. Since they're closer together, I'm not going to open that up. We got two or three open bars here so that they can start building out. And as the spring progresses, we'll open up more. Here's more brood. This one has drone comb. Lots of drones in here. Newly put in too. So we like to put the drone towards the back of the brood nest. So that's what I'm going to do here. I'm going to move this back here. I'm going to temporarily put this down while I pull a bar out back here. Yeah, they're already back here. Let me find an empty bar. Here we go. Okay, so here they are. Here they are. I'm looking for that other drone brood. Which is right here. Okay, so yeah, they're getting a little pissy. I'm gonna give them a little smoke. So this drone brood is going to go back here at the back of the brood nest. I got stung. And then final one, this guy. So now we have two empty bars up front, and they're not completely closed up yet. Got to figure out what to do with that bar, this bar here. And what I'm going to do is take the rest of these guys and throw them in the back. I just got a sting. One of the things you want to do is smoke your stings so that you're not giving off this is where to attack pheromone. And so that's what I'm doing here. I'm going to give them smoke because this is going to tick them off. Actually, I'm going to put my gloves on for this because this is really going to tick them off. So we would normally try to save this broken comb here, but it's pretty far gone. And to be honest with you, there's not a tremendous amount of resources on it. One side's completely empty, it's just comb. The other side does have honey on it, but or nectar, but it's just not worth trying to save this. We do have the luxury, however, of having lots of comb, so. Come on, girls, let go. Okay, so this is the part where they get really ticked because I'm going to actually dump them all into the hive. That's pretty good. Now I'm going to close them up. They're going to start fanning to say this is the hive, this is home, and we'll leave them a little spot so that all these ladies who are flying around will be able to get in.
A little bit of fanning. Got pollen and fanning, busy girl.
Where is she fanning? Did she disappear?
Yes, she went in. No, she's still there.
Let's get these guys off of here. That one's empty. Are you videoing?
Yeah. They're coming in.
I should mention that this hive
mama's
wasn't
in
just
there.
empty bars. It had some resources in it from previous years. So, oh, look at this poor bee. Must have cut her. Here we got some fanning going on. They'll be in just a few seconds. While they're doing that, I'm going to move this NUC table out of the way. Okay, so one of the great things about getting our NUC back is it's spring and that's the time you do splits, and that frees us up to use that NUC for doing splits. We have some hives here, we have some up in Santa Fe, and a lot of times it's very convenient just to have a NUC instead of a full hive, and then just do exactly what we did here, which was transfer them from the NUC into the hive they're going to end up living in. We're still waiting for them to all go in. If you get a wider shot here, Beth, you can see them all oriented. They're finding the entrance too. Look at all that pollen going in. Now I did reduce the entrance here considerably from where it was on last, because since we opened up the hive, we might attract other bees from other hives, and I don't want any robbing going on. So this just will help with defending that entrance for a while. You might be wondering about the little pans around the feet of the hive. When the ants start coming in and they start going into the hive, we put in diatomaceous earth, and that keeps them from crawling up the sides. So that's why the pans are there.
You can also use cinnamon.
Yeah,
or people use water or oil or all sorts of things.
There's a lot of pollen going in.
Say bye-bye.
Bye.